Walter and Donna, oh, what a pair.
Hi, Donna.
I'm very excited.
One thing that I did not get on film or video from you was your trip to the WGBH mailroom.
Oh, yeah.
Can
Oh,
you please, that's quite a journey, and I'd love to hear that story again.
after Zoom went off, after the sixth season in February of '78, I was working at the Gary, Indiana City Hall, and I'd always wanted to go to Boston. I just thought that was like magical to go to Boston. And so I finally realized I actually can do that. They actually do have, trains and planes that go there. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. So I got on the train, and Amtrak train, and it took 24 hours. And I was staying at the Howard Johnson's, which had just been built. It was downtown. It was $40 a night. That was back in '78. And so anyway, the next morning I got up and I called the Boston Transportation hotline, and I said, I've got to get to 125 Western Avenue. Is that it?
Yeah.
That 125 Western Avenue. How do I get there?
And great memory.
They said something like, take the Watertown bus and transfer to something. And so I went, and I'd like to talk to people in the mailroom. They said, well, that's down the street. Isn't that, Tommy? That's where you took me. You took me to both places when I went in 2017, when I came to visit you and see the documentary.
Right.
And then you took me to the actual studio.
But the mailroom was down the street from 125.
125. So I walked in to the thing, and I said, hi, may I speak to somebody in the Zoom mailroom? The receptionist said, well, like, who are you? And I said, well, could you tell him I'm Wally Breitzke from Gary, Indiana? And he said, okay. So we called this Wally Breitzke from Gary, Indiana is here. And long story short, they all knew me because I'd written hundreds of letters by that time. And I should have an envelope. I've got them all now. The SAISY, the self-addressed stamped envelope, I would draw. It was the Zoomers. I would draw different Zoomcasts and decorate the envelope. It really, truly, if anything happens to me, please look at those, because those are my, those could make money once I'm gone. But they were all older ladies. Well, they probably were in their 30s or 40s. I was at 21. So to me, they all seemed like, they were older. And they all knew me, and Wally's here. Oh my God. So they had me come into the mailroom, and I remember they all fawned over me. It's like, well, if we knew you were coming, we'd have baked a cake kind of thing. Like, well, here's some cookies I had for my lunch, and here's some milk, or here's something. And they couldn't do enough for me. And then it was Barbara Peterson. Does that name ring a bell? She was the head of the Zoom mailroom at that time, Barbara Peterson, I think. But the one lady who took an interest in me her name was Karen Richards, and she wasn't there, but she would send me little things. I knew there was one person who was taking an interest in my letters, because I'd get little things with the Zoom cards and all. And they said, oh, Karen's not here, but she took the day off. So they called her. She came in, she stopped what she was doing. We went out to lunch with her and Barbara Peterson. We went to the Coop, the restaurant we went there. There was a restaurant across the street, and they took me to the Zoom stage, and I was just, and so when I tell people I went to the Zoom mailroom, it's like, well, you can't do that. No, they don't allow people, but they were all, like I said, and then I became friends with Karen, and I still am. The next year, she invited me to come stay with her and her husband. They were in Jamaica Plains. They had a nice big house in Jamaica Plains. I visited the mailroom again in '79. And then I came again in '80. And by that time in the mailroom, they had moved it to like a little closet or something. So it was so sad. But to go there in '78, it was like the mothership. They had all the Zoom cards. They gave me a big poster like this of the sixth season Zoomers. I've still got it, of course, but and so it was just wonderful. And now looking back on it now, I think, how nervy of me. But I just thought, if I go there, they will accept me. We will be one. And they did. They could have said, who are you? Get lost. But they didn't.
That's such a great attitude to have. And look at you.
I tell you, with Zoom, everything was possible. I've never been passionate about anything like I was with Zoom. And things just happened.
Zoom! Right, Zoom, Z-O-O-M, Box 350, Boston, Mass. 02134.
Zoom talk, you gotta Zoom talk, come on and Zoom talk.